Hi, here's a quick mushroom update with our oyster project. That was the original culture that I took from the mushroom and then transferred some clean sectors out of it onto that plate, and then transferred clean sectors out onto that plate, then did again to that plate. Once we got to transfer 3, I made liquid culture, and there is the mycelium growing in it. And meantime, I put some to grain, and the grain spawn's clean and happy. So very shortly we'll find out if we're growing mushrooms. Woohoo! So now we've grown a plate, what do we do with it? How do we turn that into mushrooms? Well, with 2 routes we can go. We can have chop that up, or some of it up, into little bits cleanly with a clean scalpel, and pop it into a bag of sterilised grain like this, or chop a piece out and put it into a mixture, a nutrient mixture, and make a liquid culture. And in there somewhere, you shall see, there we go, that's growing away down there, and then you can use a syringe to inject that into a sterile bag of grain, to do the same job as cutting the plate up and chucking that in. So that's how you get to make the grain spawn, which is the phase that most people see when they're growing mushrooms at home. So there we have our grain spawn. I'll show you what we're going to do with it next. So we made our grain spawn, which can be used to inoculate the substrate, which is what will finally produce mushrooms. In our case, we're going to use straw. So basically, the straw needs pasteurising to kill any nasty bacteria. We're going to do it with cold water and hydrated lime for 24 hours, and then drain it, and then put it in bags and add it with 10% grain spawn. So they've got plenty more than that. That's 2 kilos, so only do it 10%, so there's plenty there. Alright, I'll show you what we do with the sterilisation next, or the pasteurisation, sorry. So, cold water lime pasteurisation. And what we'll do to this is a 40 litre bucket, and we need 2 grams per litre of hydrated lime added to the water. So as long as we put 80 grams of hydrated lime in there and leave it 24 hours, that'll pasteurise it. And to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to put the straw into one of these Hessian sacks, and that will make it easier to pull it back out after it's soaked, and hang it up to let it drain. Right, I shall show you the next bit. Right, take your lime once you measured it, and carefully put it to the barrel with some water. And while that's filling up, prepare the straw. Plan B, it wouldn't fit in the barrel, so I had to resort for an old bin. So it'll be good, just fill it up and cover it and leave it 24 hours, put a brick on top, make sure nothing floats, but it's all underwater, and that's it, come back to it tomorrow. So the straw's been soaking for 24 hours. You see the water's a dark colour, which is good and normal. Now I'm going to take that bag out and hang it up and drain it for a couple of hours, and then we'll get on with doing the mushrooms. Now comes the clean bit. For this you'll need gloves and a mask, some kitchen roll, a squidgy bottle with 10 to 15% bleach solution mixed with water. That will decontaminate all your work surfaces in your hands, or if you're lucky enough to have it, some isopropyl alcohol. 70% mix is best for killing bacteria and such like. Now we have everything together to make our mushroom bags. We've got our straw, which started off as 2 kilos and is probably now somewhere between 4 and 6. We've got 1 kilo of grain spawn, and we've got a collection of mushroom bags with the filters in, which hopefully I'm guessing should make between 4 and 6 bags out of that. So we'll get busy and see how many we make. Okay, so this is how I make the grow bags up. Take a sprinkling clean hands. Sprinkling in the bottom, then take a layer of straw and put that in there, and then repeat until the bag's full to about an inch below the filter, and then compact it. Well, we managed to get 5 bags, so that's 1 each to try. It's been 4 days since they were done, and the colonisation is going really well. Seems to be going well. You can sort of see at this stage where the layers are and give you an idea the spacings and how much you put in the layers. It's been 3 weeks and the bags are now fully colonised and are starting to form primordia, which is these, on the inside of the bag where the air is at the top. Mushrooms start to fruit at the point of air exchange, so we want them to fruit out the side. So I'm going to take the air out the top of the bags, and we'll put a slit in the side, and that's where we'll force them to fruit out of. Once you've built your mushroom box, sit your block in and turn it upside down, and then what you want to do with a pair of scissors that have been sat in boiling water, that'll be sterile, then just here, about 1.5 inches long, something like that, cut an X in the front of the block, and that should expose it to air, and it should start forming fruit at that point, hopefully in the next week. Next thing you have to do is mist the box, just with plain water, and just mist onto the cardboard around it, around there, and that will keep the humidity up over the course of the day. So ideally you want to do that in the morning and do it at evening. If you can do it 3 times a day, that's great. If you can only do it once, then with having it sat on a tray, you can perhaps stick a bit of water in the bottom, and it should keep it in humidity all day. After you've sprayed it, put your clear plastic or your bubble wrap flap down, and you should be good to go. 7 days, 10 days, you should start seeing fruit.